Hi, everyone. So, why do we want to learn about these 7 universal laws? What you can read about it since the eons of time, like in the early Egypt, Atlantis, and maybe even before, people were studying these 7 universal laws. And the way it came to us in these modern times is through transcripts called the Emerald Tablets, the Kybalion or Hermetic principles. So it's a teaching known to be given to humankind by Hermes or the Egyptian Thoth, that is supposedly the same consciousness or the same master. But what I perceive within myself, and I also recognize within a lot of people around me, that these 7 laws are not something that we receive from someone, but these 7 laws are what we are. So even if you've never heard of them or you don't know what it is, you are it. So one way or the other, you are going to find out within your evolution what these 7 laws are, because there are a lot of methods and theories and things to be able to look at the complexity of who we are as a human being and the complexity of our existence as a whole. And for some theories or methods, you can say, oh, this is not for me, or this is not for me. I will just look at some other part of creation that is more suitable for me, or another way of explaining things that is more suitable for me. And of course, you can still feel that way about these 7 laws in this moment of time in your evolution. But in the core, everything within our existence is how do you say this? These laws are our existence. These laws are who we are. So in a way, you can escape a lot of rules and theories, but these rules are kind of, who you are. And if you want to escape them, you will escape yourself, and you will escape your own creation. And it's kind of impossible. So these are pretty much very universal, not only for us human beings, but also for a lot of beings, maybe all beings within the creation of existence that we can perceive or know of. And as it is with all knowledge, everything that we know about it right now and everything that we can, translate into language and comprehensible concepts, is not the same today as it will be tomorrow, because when we process this information, it will change because of it, and tomorrow someone else will have more information present, because we are an ever evolving creation. So also the way that we can perceive ourselves will change every day, every moment. So but why is it important to know these 7 laws, to know ourselves, to know how creation is built or ordered? Actually, it is not important at all. So if you're not resonating to these concepts, please just go on, live your life, enjoy it, experience whatever you want to experience, because in a way it is not important to know, but in another way it is really important to know. So if you are in a period in your existence that you think, oh, I'm curious how this all, is built and how this whole creation came to be, then these laws can be very nice to, to study. And for me, through the inner work that I did, I came to know myself more and more. And the more I, became to know who I am, the more I know that I am everything. and that I am not disconnected to all the other parts in the creation, that I am actually the other person that I'm looking at, or the other planet that is moving into the orbit of the Earth, or that I am the Earth as well, that I am the chair that I sit on, because everything is consciousness, everything is mind, and mind is connected. And yeah, I think this is the most important concept of these 7 laws. And we teach them as 7 laws, but in fact it's just one law, or one way of looking at ourselves, the creation. But because it's so complex, and we as a human, it is 3-dimensional experience, we don't have the capacity yet in our brain, not every human has it, some may have it, to grasp everything at the same moment. Some have a moment that they can, for example, in an epiphany, or an transcendental experience, or a plant medicine trip, or sometimes you can reach this state that you become one with the creation, that your consciousness is totally in another dimension, where you can perceive yourself as the creation, as the whole. But most of the time in our daily consciousness, we are not able to do that. So we need this to cut this information into 7 parts, Maybe you can even cut those 7 parts into thousands of other parts to to comprehend the complexity of who we are. But for now, there's 7 laws. So we cut the order of existence into 7 parts to comprehend ourselves. And the fun thing is that we also did that with our body, the 7 chakras. So the 7 main energy centers that make sure that our bodies, our physical bodies, also can function. So our physical body is also a representation, or an holographic form of the whole. And one easy metaphor to comprehend this a little bit is that you are a drop, but you are also the ocean. And the ocean cannot be without the drop, and the drop cannot be without the ocean, but it is one and the same. And the one drop is not the same as the other drop, because the other drop maybe has a different different minerals in it, or different properties to it. But together they form one ecosystem. So it's the same with everything. So it's the same with humans, but also we humans are not disconnected from the animals, and the animals are not disconnected from the plants, and we are actually the whole of creation, but we are also this separate life form. So this is like mind-blowing, like, what am I? Okay, I am this. I am this one being, but I am also every other being in the whole fucking universe. So it's a lot to comprehend, but these 7 laws, they will help us with that. So that's nice. And through the ages, people have been going through energetic paths to become one with themselves, and through becoming one with themselves, regaining the consciousness of the one. And for example, the Egyptians, and people from all over the world that went to Egypt, traveled along the Nile, with all the temples that represent the chakra systems, to go through the energetic path, to activate and open these chakras within themselves, to be aligned within yourself, to be coherent within yourself, and through that becoming one with the whole. Through that opening, activating your own divine nature, because we are not separate, we are not powerless, we are actually just as powerful as the creator, him or herself, because we are the creator. But we are just a fractal of it, and we are the whole. So when we start to remember that we are actually the creator in this divine instrument, you can, it really helps to relax also a little bit, like, oh, I don't necessarily have to think of everything or do stuff in a certain way or know everything, because in essence I am already everything. I am every possible experience. I am every possible feeling. I am every possible life form. I am every possible I don't know, whatever you are thinking of that you should be or not should not be, you are it all. But right now, within this consciousness, within this life form, you are experiencing this part of creation. And that's unique. And this is the whole point of living. And but the concept that there's actually no time frame or no hurry towards some place or to become someone can really help to relax a little bit more, like, oh, I am just the creation. And I am the creation. Okay, so the creation can live through me. I'm actually trying to manipulate everything to create a good life, or I don't know, a healthy life or a balanced life. But actually most of the time when we let go of the reins, the creator can move through us, because we are the creator, can move through its own instrument and move in the way it wants to be. So this whole existence is full of paradoxes. So even when I'm talking, you will notice it's, oh, now she's saying this, but now she's saying the opposite, and it's both true. So yes, you are you are magnificent. Is that a word? You are. I love it, but I don't know what it means. Okay, you are not so important because the creation moves through you anyway. You're evolving anyway. But on the other hand, you are the creator, so you are infinitely powerful at the same time. So that's weird, right? So it's just something to to try to comprehend within yourself. And I can give you an example how this knowing came to me the most profound in this lifetime. It was recently that I was doing a plant medicine journey, and I perceived myself as being everything, as being one with the creation, and that part of experiencing existence is so natural to me that I forgot what it was like to be a separate human entity as well. So I went in through a whole trip to journey into this manifestation of one body that's called Tessa in this lifetime. It was a really, really big birthing of myself. But one thing that was so profound in that journey is that the creation offered these possible journeys for me, or these possible ways that I could go to. Like, oh, you can go there. There's like Sin City with neon lights and sex and drugs and rock and roll and very low vibrations. If you want to go there, that's fun. You should do it if you want to. And then I could feel within myself one part of my consciousness like, okay, I'm offered to go there, but do I want to go there? And then there was this other possibility, like, you can also go here and you can experience Christ consciousness, like unconditional love, and more evolved human beings with more connection, and okay, higher vibrations. You can also choose that, and I could feel within the creation that there is actually no judgment whatsoever if I chose that route or that route, because it's just both part of the creation, and we need them both to experience all aspects of self. And there's no good or bad or the long way or the short way. It's just, what do you want to experience? So that was like really like, okay, I always have a choice. And even when the circumstances look like you don't have a choice, you can still have a choice within your mind, because you are mind in a way, and not in the way that you are your head and not your heart and because mind is everything and mind will create everything. So what you think you are, not what you think you will become. That's something you'll hear a lot, but in the core, it's very simplistic, but it's also really, really true. And this is the first law of the universal laws, is the law of mentalism, and it means we are all mind. Mind is everything, and what you are, you will become. So what you vibrate, you will create, because that's how it works. So when you choose to go into a certain direction in your life that is vibrating at a certain frequency or a certain quality, this is what you will create in your life, but only if you are becoming it in the moment. So this is one of the, I think, the biggest lessons that we can learn from this first law in our daily life, is to become coherent with what we say we want to be, or what we want to invite in our lives, and what we are in the moment right now. Because if you try to affirm, or I have the intention to go there, or I want to be this, or I want to be that, then the only energy you put out into the world is I want, I want, I want, and you will attract a world of lack because you don't have what you want. So if you want to create a world that is loving, if you want to create a world where conflicts are resolved with words, if you want to create a world where fairies live and where magic is possible, like whatever your mind can think of, you can create. So if enough people think of something, the creation will manifest in that way. That's so beautiful. So, but it's not something like, oh, I want to go there. No, you have to feel it right now. You have to become the vibration. You have to become that what you want. And then this will help to manifest it in the world. So this is the first law, the law of mentalism. And one other thing that you can work with in daily life with this law is when you notice that you are not in a good place in your mind, like you're thinking a lot of dark thoughts, a lot of nasty thoughts towards yourself, like I'm not doing this good, oh, I'm such a bad mom, or oh, I'm not good at this, or oh, I'm not healthy, or you should realize that those thought patterns are so incredibly powerful, because you are incredibly powerful. So what you have in your mind can manifest itself. And that doesn't mean that you have to, I am all love and light, so I can only, no, it means that you have to examine the thought patterns that you have, the limiting belief patterns that you have, and the recurring thought patterns that hold you in a certain place within your life, and to explore what's needed to transmute them, to to create something in a higher frequency within your mind. Most of the time that's shadow work, or just talking to someone about that limiting belief and seeing it from a whole new perspective, and oh, that's old, I don't need it anymore, and I even have processed everything around it, so I just need some like mind gym or mental discipline to create new pathways in my mind, that if that frequency field comes in, that I say, oh, there it is again, okay, I choose another route, I go there. And this is like training a muscle, but it's one of the most important things that you can do. But the mind that we talk about is not only on the mental level. So it's important to realize that mind is everything. So that if you're thinking low thoughts, then there's probably also something in a low vibration within your emotional system. There's something in a low vibration within your physical system. There's something in a low vibration within your spiritual system. So to be conscious of that and allow the evolving of that process, that alchemy from these low vibrational patterns into high ones, to allow that to occur within you. Because you don't have to be like a super scientist or a very good therapist to be able to do this. It's mostly allowing the creation to heal you, allowing yourself to heal you. But we have to get out of the way. Most of the time our ego thinks it's so important that we have to do everything ourselves. But most of the time the easiest route to evolution and to ascension or to healing is by allowing it to happen to you, and to allow your own infinite knowledge and power and connection to everything to work through you, to follow your impulses, your movements, your emotions, and to just flow, let the creation flow through you, and then you can alchemize very easily most of the time dark spaces within yourself. And of course, deep traumatic imprints, they most of the time need someone to be in connection to heal, because most of the time it is within the connection that the trauma occurred. So that's good to know, to ask for help or anything. But know that this is such an important part of your existence, that if you have limiting thought patterns, if you want to choose a different experience, this is the way to go. Yeah, and actually this one law is the same as all the other 6 laws. It's like the overlay law. So some people say this is the only law there is, but the other 6 laws that we'll discuss the next times, we'll go deeper into what it means, how this works, that you have polarity, that you have correspondence, like, okay, you are another me, but I am in correspondence to you, and how does that work, like, and there is dark and there is light, and how do I deal with that within myself, within the world, within the creation. There's cause and effect. So if I think something will happen, If I feel something will happen. So how does that work, cause and effect? Yeah, all these things we will discuss in the next time. And I think this is all I want to share about this right now. So then we will go to the transmission, and I will like to invite you to open yourself, to open new doors within your consciousness, within your brain, within your belief patterns, that you are infinitely powerful, and you can change the world if you can change yourself. Okay, enjoy.